chain of command.
Yeah.
I believe I think Ellen passed it now.
Very nice.
Jump the table, guys. Yeah. Yeehaw.
Amazing. All right, there's so many.
Just sit down, Dale, and I. I just made it. Is this the work way?
What size you building? Monster. 40 by 60. A big wall, right?
Whatever the max
Your RV
is.
and everything?
Oh, yeah. You gotta pull out a big building.
I just got
She still has it. Well,
Just not the car.
that's all I feel. He also wants like the floor,
See, everybody's got to have a wash bay. They're all
no, they don't.
stick a hard hose in a drain. If it's not well willing, those are not supposed to be numbered. No company. About 15 grand.
Before you start seeing.
Not burning. There's fuel. Save all the trees, actually fall out of the trees. Build them in Utah.
Good evening, it is 6:30, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If you could please rise for the pledge of
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could please take a moment of silence for Dave Franz, the former city council member who passed away on Sunday. You may be seated. Kristen, has roll call been taken?
Yeah.
Chief Sutter, would you do us the honors, please?
Chief Sutter, Linden Police.
Don Grice, DPW Director. Ron Will, Fire Chief.
Tessa Sweeney, Director of Senior Services and Community Engagement.
Brooke Card, City Treasurer.
Kristen Kenyak, City Clerk. Ellen Glass, City Manager.
Denise Miller, City Councilor.
Brad Dick, City Councilor.
Pat Parker from Simon Figueroa Parker, City Attorneys. I'd like to introduce you to Josh Camby. He's the newest and youngest and smartest lawyer in our office now.
Oh, wow. Hard to compete with Pat.
Liz Armstrong, Mayor.
Jerry Linkmo, Mayor Pro Tem.
Pam Hogg, City Council.
Tom Hicks, City Council.
Brenda Simons, City Councilor.
We have no special presentations, so we are going to move on to the public hearing.
We open it up at a specific time, allow the public to comment, and then it's a business
we are gonna open up the public public hearing at 6:31. And are there any public comments on the hearing or the budget? You wanna come on up, Misty?
Do you want me to go up there?
I want to be able to hear you.
Well, there's no microphone.
Oh, well, I guess that's true. I guess there's no point then, is there? Sorry.
Okay, I sat and read through that whole budget this afternoon, and there's a couple of things that I don't understand about the LoSI budget. I have some questions here. First of all, there was a budget item for training expense. Who's getting trained and what kind of training? And then there was another line item for budget consultants. Who is this consultant and what is that person being consulted about?
As soon as you are done and anybody else that wants to go, then our city manager will be more than happy to answer your questions. Are there any other?
I wanna know in the budget, where is the money coming from to cover the extra 1.78 million for the mill?
Are there any further public comments for the public hearing on the budget specifically? Going once, going twice. We're gonna close the public hearing at 6:34 p.m.
Some of the questions right now? Okay. So training expenses in LoSI, and Tessa, jump in at any point if you have additional specifics to add. So the training is for the, all of the senior center staff for any specific training that happens throughout the year. What do you have, like specifically, like for this year, we did our CPR training out of there. There's also training opportunities through the Michigan Senior Association of Directors. They have various training opportunities through that as well. So. And then the consultant fees. Sorry, I'm just looking. I just want to make sure that I'm looking at the same thing that you are specifically. We have professional services, if that's what you're referencing, but we don't have a budget consultant. There's no line item for budget consultant. I guess I'm not seeing that in there, Ramona. I can follow up too with you on specifics about that, but we don't, there's nothing in here for consultant.
Okay, it must be.
Tess, are you? No. Okay. I didn't think so.
Professional services then. There was a line item for about $2,500.
So professional services are anything from our auditing fees to any type of consultant that we might hire throughout the year that would provide a number of services for the senior center. And just like we do in general fund or major local streets, things like that. Do you have anything to add to that as well, Tessa? No, that's and then as far as the money in the budget for the mill, in the general fund right now, it's budgeted, the overages are budgeted in capital outlay. As you've heard us talk in the past, the city is going to have to, once we know what the total end result and cost of the overall mill is going to be, we are going to have to pay for that out of the capital outlay budget, fund balance, and then most likely we'll have to procure a loan to pay for the remainder of the mill project. And that's budgeted for in the general fund.
Madam Mayor, can I ask her a question, please? On here I see under, senior center, I don't know if this is where, she gets, it says professional services, 2,642,
Yep.
went up to 16,000, and went down to 2,500. So I think that's.
Yeah, that's what I just explained, that it's for various, yep. Thank you.
All right. And We have correspondence this evening. There was a letter received from Mass Transportation Authority regarding the increase that they are asking for in the millage. So now we will move on to public comment. Ramona East.
In the council meeting, we were told that elections at the LoSI Center would not disrupt LoSI programming. Last Tuesday, the annex was closed to LoSI activities all day. Lunch was canceled, as were all activities normally held in the annex. We were not even allowed to access our library shelves. I assume that you plan to do the same in August and November. Senior citizens gave the bequest for the purchase of the original building, and senior citizens raised the funds to rebuild after the fire. City of Linden did not contribute any funds for rebuilding. In my opinion, senior activities should have priority. At a church activity last Tuesday, a woman sat beside me and said, "I am done with LoSI." She said that she had already purchased 2 activities, but after that, she would no longer attend LoSI. So I asked her, what happened? She said that she drove several miles to attend an exercise class she had previously attended, and it had been canceled. She had not been notified ahead of time. How many members have we lost because of repeated canceled activities?
Thank you. Mary Sweet.
I have a few concerns regarding the detours on Tickner Street. And I don't know how many of you were involved in the reconstruction of Tickner Street in 2002, probably none of you. Our road is narrower than most roads, and with the heavy traffic down our road and no lines down the center of our road, people are crossing over or driving down the center, big trucks, they don't want to move over. Is there a way that we can get some striping down the road, and especially on the curve by the mill? That's like taking your life in your own hands trying to go around that curve. And as far as the speed limit sign down the road, it's not doing any good. It is doing no good at all. There are kids that play on this street, and the amount of traffic, you know, I mean, I've had to wait for 10, 15 cars just to back on my driveway some days, multiple times in the day. So that's a concern to me. East Broad Street, I was coming east in a left turn lane to turn on to go down to Tickner Street, and a car came out heading west on that section of East Broad Street that is eastbound only. Can we throw some one-way signs up there? I think it was a resident because they weren't too far down the block. But it happened to my daughter the week before. And if she wouldn't have been paying attention, she'd have run over a little car with a great big pickup truck. So it is an issue down there. And then I have a question about the paddle and pedal. I see the address for that is on Mill Street, which I'm assuming that's where the food trucks will be. My question is, are they gonna portage their kayaks over to the launch, or are they gonna be parking on Tickner Street down by the curve to launch their kayaks for that event? It's June 13th from, I think, I don't know, 10 in the morning till 8 p.m. So, just some concerns. I mean, it's a Saturday, it's gonna be busier than normal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy Preston.
My concern is also Tickner Street. I was 10 minutes around the corner for the garbage truck to move. Then, you got the scooters again. I almost hit a boy tonight downtown. He didn't stop downtown, he just went from one side right over to Thimbleberry. He didn't even stop. And that's the other thing is, the unfinished business, can we add updates on water pressures for north, south, east, and west? And that's it.
Thank you. Robert Glover.
We have a problem with the mail delivery in the construction zone.
You have to say your name.
Oh, Robert Glover, 521 East Broad Street. They are refusing to deliver mail or packages to our houses even that don't fit in the mailbox. I've been to the post office several times, and the only answers I get out of them is, we're just not gonna do it. FedEx, UPS, and them can pull in their driveways, no problem, why can't the post office? I've brought it up to Denise and you, and you guys have talked to neighbors, and said they have all the same complaints that we have. I got 17 pieces of mail at the post office. I have a job that's from 8 AM to 7 PM most of the days. So I gotta miss a couple hours work just to go get my mail. And today I got a notification saying my mail was delivered, and then it's not delivered. Is this something you guys can address with the post office and correct it, because you guys said we would get our mail delivery? And as that one lady said, people going backwards down Broad Street, I see it 3 or 4 times a night. They'll come from the cemetery and go head out, and when a car comes, they'll jump over to the park that's ground out, and then go right back over and keep all the way downtown, cutting it out of traffic like that. And the scooters, oh yeah. I watched them crash in front of my house last night at 11 o'clock on their scooters right out the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Going once? Going twice? Okay, thank you. Ellen?
Yeah, I will allow my staff to answer. Tessa, do you have anything on the LoC Center that you'd like to?
Yep.
Okay.
It looks like for election day, we did not have mahjong, but arthritis exercise was canceled due to the instructor having a family emergency that she's gonna attend to this month. So that's not on our control. The woman that was attending and the class canceled, I'm assuming that was the exercise class. I guess I'm not fully sure the context of the conversation, Ramona. And then for how many people we've lost from repeated activities, actually LoC is about 69 ahead of where we were last year for attendance. So.
And to add on to that, the instructors that teach the classes and stuff is challenging because some of them have specific certifications to teach them the classes and things like that. And so if they're out due to an illness or a family emergency or anything like that, it's challenging. We don't have anybody to fill in for that, right? So Tessa has been trying to work on a long-term solution for that, in potentially recording the actual instructors that actually teach the classes. So in the interim, we could have something like that. I know it's not a perfect solution, but we are trying to work on some of those things. This year has been challenging with some of the instructors not being able to, attend. Like I said, they've had family commitments and illnesses and things like that. So Tessa is working on trying to find a permanent, more long-term solution, so we don't have to do that, and there doesn't have to be disruption of services and things. As far as Tickner Street, I don't know if Chief and Don, do you guys have anything to add there and the concerns with Tickner? And
Yeah, I'll address the traffic. So ever since I think the one-way started around 26 or something like that down, is that correct? We've done 64 hours of traffic enforcement over there. That's more than anywhere else in the city, and we've concentrated on that. The sign on Tickner, it's showing an average speed of about 21 miles an hour of the vehicles.
On that end of the street.
Yeah, but you're right. But it's at the same time, we're concentrating heavily, and we're avoiding other areas of the city because of that, so that we could slow traffic down. So, and I think we've had about 50 traffic stops over there. As far as the one-way, we've had one person that we pulled over for doing that. The others, that we've had construction zone workers doing that too, with their vehicles, because they have to get back and forth to the site. But in that 63 hours, we're in Saddlebrook, Tickner, Broad Street, all in that area. So we're heavily concentrating on that, and we will continue until the end of the project. And so, yeah, as far as scooters, right now, they're legal. There's certain ones that these kids are driving that aren't legal, and we're advising them to get off the street. If you see someone reckless, let us know. Call 911, that's the best way to get a hold of us, so that we'll go address it, and we'll get the parents, and we'll take their bike for a while, so, yep, that's it.
As far as striping Tickner, we don't typically stripe neighborhood streets, and Tickner is a neighborhood street, so it certainly would be up to council if they'd want to stripe it, but that would be the only one in the community that I'm aware of.
Is there any about the mayor? Any update about the mayor?
So we've talked to the postmaster multiple times. We put the postmaster in touch with the project manager on site. I know even as recent as today, there's been conversations on trying to find resolution to that. So Don and I will continue to stay engaged in that, and in the loop. Is there anything else you have to add to that at this point, Don?
It sounds like they may connect tomorrow, and I just told them, I said, if there's anything the city can do, let us know. If I need to be at the meeting, let me know. They were supposed to connect today, it didn't happen, so I know that he's supposed to be in town tomorrow and said that he can meet with the postmaster.
Ellen, I do have one more other thing. As far as the curve on Tickner Street, thank you for bringing it up. We've talked to the construction workers, and it's been opened up pretty much good. And then also, as far as the lawn people, we kicked a couple people out and they went into the driveway. So I appreciate you, and let me know. Let us know if you see more of those, and we'll come by.
The problem on the curve is the people coming around the curve and not staying on their own side of the road.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a wreck. I mean, it's inevitable.
And
And there's a lot of people that don't ever drive that street that are driving it now, that they just think it's a free-for-all. We can just go straight down the middle of the road. You can't do that with
We'll
your-
monitor that honestly, and I appreciate that. So they stay in their lane.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Next is the consent agenda. Item A on the consent agenda is the council minutes from April 27th. B is the financial reports. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Support? Dick?
Yes.
Miller?
No.
Hicks?
Yes.
Simons?
Yes.
Link?
Yes.
Armstrong?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Unfinished business, monthly grant update.
I don't have really anything other than, last week we did receive a call, from Senator Peters' office that, our project, for renovations for police and fire, facilities, was chosen by their office to continue on in the process. It's a very lengthy process, not sure where we'll end up. It was chosen at about 1.3 million, and so we'll continue to monitor that along with the other, appropriations that we have out there. We haven't gotten any updates on those, so they're still in the process. We have the police cruisers, I think that one is still pending, and then the additional funding, that was proposed by Mike Mueller, at the state level. Any other grants? I think that's it.
Oh, no, I just, I received a donation from Desert Angels for our police department. It was a healthy donation, and they're a great organization. They help the military overseas, but they also have a law enforcement side to it too. And they were so generous, and I received that today. Everybody knows Louise Blaine, and she's a wonderful person. And then the 100 Club of Genesee County, Lapeer County, and Shiawassee County, they are, we awarded a grant for 2 vests as well. So I appreciate all those people.
Let me ask a quick question. I just recently heard that in light of the tragedy in Grand Blanc, that the fire department was also able now to go get those vests. So
Yes,
is that
for
something?
part of that process, we will get 4 vests and 4 helmets.
Okay,
We're waiting on that distribution, but that'll be coming down the next month or so.
perfect, excellent, thank you.
We also have a certified local government grant out there for, design guidelines update, so that is still pending. That's for our Historic District Commission.
Thank you for that. All right, so now we're gonna move into new business. Resolution number 05-26, adoption of the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget.
As our charter requires us to approve a resolution to adopt our budget and hold a public hearing, and hear any comments from the public on our overall budget. And really quick, I'd just like to kind of run through and review, I know we've had it in front of us a couple different times, I've met with individuals, and fielded some questions and stuff. So the proposed budget that we're proposing for the 26-27 year is intended to maintain essential services for the city and continue progress on major infrastructure and facility projects, support public safety, provide responsible financial oversight while recognizing the financial pressures that we're facing. I think it's important to clarify for council and the public that the city's not proposing any increase to any city millage rate in this budget at all. The budget resolution is required to levy the city's recent or current authorized millages as reduced by Headley. So it includes for the general operating millage, the voter approved police and fire millage, and the mosquito control millage. These are not new millages at all, they're the same ones that we've had on the rolls. The proposed budget continues to focus on the priorities previously discussed with council, including the completing of a lot of our major projects that are underway, maintaining the city infrastructure, supporting public safety, preserving long-term financial stability. These priorities include also the mill rehabilitation project, as we touched on a little bit earlier, road and infrastructure projects, transition to the county water. As you guys know, Brody was here at the last meeting and is not recommending any rate increases at this time, but obviously continued monitoring, and then consideration next year. So it also reflects obviously the mill project. We still, like I communicated, we still have that budgeted for in capital outlay in the general fund, and we're not sure where that project overall is going to land. As you guys know, we got the $4 million grant, and right now we're at about 5.6, I think, 5.2.
Yes, for sure, yeah.
Overall. So I'm happy to field any questions that you guys have specific to the budget. Obviously, once the budget approves, we still have to adhere to the purchasing ordinances and things like that. So I know I had a question on fire trucks. Obviously, that would be something that we would bid out, spec out, bring back to the council for final approval. All those things, that's something that has been in the works. So I'm happy to field any questions you guys might have.
All right, first, are there any questions from anyone in the audience? Seeing none. All right, Pam.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, I do have a couple questions, please. Resolution 5-26, number A on this. Are we voting on each individual one? Or are we voting on the package?
You vote on the package. We don't adopt our item, we don't adopt the budget by line item, we adopt the budget by fund. So when you pass this resolution, you're adopting the entire.
Okay, so all these other packages all fall underneath A.
Packages?
Well, you got A, B, C, D, and E. Are we talking about each individual one of those, or are we just talking about the whole package?
So item A, for resolution 526, you're adopting, if you look at that resolution, starting on page 13, if you're looking on the computer. Are you looking,
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, so that actually sets our millage rate, and then it sets each, so if you actually look on page 13, it actually will tell you what you're adopting, and it's each of the funds, revenue, expenditures, you're levying the 9.759 mils as reduced by Headley for the general fund, the mosquito millage, and the public safety millage as well. Authorizing the city manager to expend funds as adopted in adherence with any policies, which is purchasing policy. And then any budgetary transfers. So this is the exact same resolution that was in front of you guys last year with just the updated numbers. So this is the same resolution that we're required to pass every year. So are you asking if we're approving the business items specifically?
Well, you've got, yeah, under new business, you've got 5 categories.
No, each of those are their own separate
Okay, so we're
resolutions.
gonna be talking about each one.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking at the specific resolution, and the resolution, it has numbered items, so I was just trying to clarify, Tom.
No problem. So are we gonna vote on each one individually?
Each one has to be voted on individually, and there is a resolution included in your packet with the motions, and the resolution numbers.
Okay.
So right now, we're just looking for approval of resolution 526, adoption of the fiscal year 26-27 budget.
I guess I'm not fully comfortable we got enough information to do this tonight, so we'll take other people's comments too while we're doing this.
Brenda?
I've looked through this thoroughly and there's nothing that we haven't seen before. So, I don't have any additional questions. Thanks for laying it out so efficiently. Appreciate it.
I went through this quite a bit, the last couple of weeks. And I went in to see Ellen with Jerry. I'm not ready to vote on this. I think there's a lot of things we have to look at as far as, salaries, increases, where we put money, where we're gonna save money for the roads, for the mill, for the water. We have a lot on our plate. So right now, I'd probably like to have more discussions on all this. Thank you.
Well, it's just our standard millage package, you know, yes, obviously I have concerns where the money's coming from to pay for the mill. We've got election equipment we have to buy, which I really hate, because we just bought it. Hasn't been that long ago. That's a $70,000 expense. And we have a fire truck of $500,000 in here, so yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about and look at, but it's a standard package. I don't know, we need to open this up for discussion to find out where council wants to go with this. We should have already done it, but we have time. We'd have to do a special meeting again, I think. Because this has to be adopted by June 1, correct?
July 1.
July 1? We usually do it by June.
Actually, I think our charter, and I have to pull it up, our charter asks, or requires that it be adopted at the regular meeting in May. But July 1 is technically our budget year, so if we needed to address later.
Jerry?
This portion of it is where the fire truck expenditures are coming from. I guess the question that I have on the fire truck, I know Chief was able to get some, we definitely need one. The times, this truck's got a lot of miles on it, a lot of years. But is there an opportunity where Chief Sutter, he was able to get some financing or get some grants for the police cruisers? Is there some way that we can look at trying to spend a little more time trying to get some grants for the fire department to get some support on this? I know Chief Will had mentioned that that we're looking at getting a standard truck, which is a 2 to 3 week delivery. So it's not I don't know what the original truck, the specials were, but 2 to 3 weeks, if something were to happen, we could look at getting it quickly. My biggest concern is, can we find some grants? Can we take some time to go out for more grants? I know you've tried to this point, but if there's some grants that we could try to get some help from the state, from the federal, on the fire department, because we've got this $500,000 layout, and then I assume since when we purchased this vehicle, it was close to, the second vehicle was within a few years of purchasing the first one, that here in a few years, we're gonna have to purchase another $500,000 truck. So, just wanna try to take as much time as we can to try to find some additional funds, grants, something from the state or federal.
Brian, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, a couple things.
Okay.
And
In 2024, we applied through the FEMA grant system for a new engine. It took a full year to find out that they only granted one engine through the whole state of Michigan. The 2025 grant cycle hasn't started up yet. We're waiting any time for that to happen. But then again, it's another 9 months to a year before you hear a result from it. Part of my research of the new engine I found was if we wait and order this truck after June 15th, roundabout there, is that the new emission standard kick in for 27. And I was told today that adds another $40,000 to the cost of that truck just for that feature. So my goal was to try and get ahead of that. And I've always found in the past when you have emission requirements that it's just future problems that you have with the operation of the truck, and I sure don't want to venture into something new and have it fail on the scene when I need it. So we can always apply for the 25 grant for the second truck, which should be a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, and see what happens, but our chances are pretty slim on that based on previous grants that have been given. Are there no other grants out there for fire department?
There are, and I'm applying for a couple now, but it's for basic equipment, from
Okay.
fire gear to helmets to SCBA packs, those kind of things. Nothing when you're talking fire trucks. FEMA's about the only one that gets into those dollar ranges.
There's potential for appropriation, you know, just similar to what we've done, and we'll continue to be engaged with those processes. So when that opportunity comes up, you know, we certainly apply for those for any equipment needs for the fire department, and so.
And the mayor, when I get a chance, I want to.
Alright, so, most of mine have been answered, or I found the answers. But on page 48, under 25-26 activity, there's it's a weird question, but there's a grant. I just wanna know what that grant was for. 27,502, 92. Page 48.
No, I see it here. We just don't, that's something that I have to pull the detail from BSNA specifically for the current activity. Let me see if I can pull it. Yeah, I think Brooke's right. I think it is for the Shiawassee River Trail, reimbursement. It's on page 48 right there. It says grants. Okay, Brooke is yep, she's pulling it right now from the BSNA cloud, so she'll be able to tell you exactly. Yeah.
And then while we're waiting for that,
Mhm.
just either you or Don, is there been any rough speculation on what you're thinking that the mill could go over to? I mean, are we just about done with the foundation portion? Cause I know that was looking like that was gonna possibly be the priciest part, but.
So, most of the foundation work is finished at this point.
Okay.
I'll be coming in June to talk about some other issues that we've discovered. Now, I don't think they'll be as expensive as the foundation work, but I'll have some photos and things once we have a number for what we think. When they start taking the ceilings out of the lower levels, they found significant notching in the floor trusses, floor joists for that building, and the structural engineer wants those repaired. So we've been talking about possible solutions, and it looks like they've settled on basically sandwiching each one of those notches and extending beyond 12 to 18 inches so that we can meet loading requirements. So in June, I should have numbers on what that's gonna look like, and like I said, I'll also have a photo package put together to show what it is we discovered, so.
Okay. Thank you. And then the road projects, when you brought up, Ellen, I didn't see any specifically on here. Are there specific ones?
The finishing of the road projects.
Okay,
They're all the
okay.
open projects that we have.
Okay, all right. I didn't know
Some-
if there was
Majority
more.
of them will spill over into the
Okay.
fiscal year.
Okay, thank you.
And, I did find that, that is the Shiawassee River Trail grant, council had, approved us to be the fiduciary, so, we are just a pass-through, they request reimbursement, and then,
Just trying to figure out which one it was.
yep,
Thank you.
no problem.
Additionally too, Don, I think proposed, I think you had already talked about it, is the patch projects for some of the roads that are a little bit more severe in nature. So
Yeah,
that was
they
a
appro-
program that we're proposing to for the upcoming fiscal year.
Yes, and they approved that previous meeting, yep.
Thank you. All right, so I think Denise, you wanted to go next?
Yeah, I guess I have to explain myself. When I went through, I'm looking at, the raises, and I came from, negotiating wages with employees. I was the union president for quite a few years. So when I went through, and I think all of our city employees work really hard, and they wear a lot of different hats. And I don't know how this really works, because last year I did approve it, and I didn't really look at, everything seemed, the 3% to the 5%. So this year went up, quite a bit, and I just wanted to see if there's any way that we can negotiate this. I don't know how it works, but, we have to be fiscally responsible for our residents too. So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
And Don, is it fair to say that, there may be, obviously, and appreciate you bringing all the issues up right away, but foundation is typically way more expensive than what you're gonna find for the rest of the project. Typically, not saying,
I would like to say that's an accurate statement.
Okay.
But this building has continued to surprise us, and
Did they cut notches, like sawed out notches?
yeah, I'll show you, it's
Okay,
right in the middle, yeah.
it's like City Hall.
Right.
But, all right, thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I? I'm gonna bring this up, I mean, I can see here there's a lot of questions, and I don't think it's fair that we vote on this tonight. I would propose that we move this to the next workshop, so we can sit down, pick it apart, come up with an agreement, and at the city council meeting at the end of May, June, vote on it. So that way there we don't, because if we vote it down now, then we're gonna start all over. So let's slow it down a little bit, let's move it to then, postpone it till the next workshop, and then figure it out.
Are you recommending postponement of anything, so A, B, C, D?
I think right now we're just talking A, or,
Well, they're all
I don't know,
tied.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking, just so we know.
It seems to all tie together. Let's do the whole thing, let's slow it down a little bit, do the whole thing, break it apart, so we're all comfortable, and we make an educated decision. That's just my idea.
Madam Mayor, I have a question for Brian. So if we don't approve this budget, then we're gonna be paying $40,000 more for a truck?
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. That delay would cost you $40,000
Is our
in the
delay?
purchase of that next truck.
Okay, so that's the question, is our delay worth $40,000?
Our next meeting is in June for a work session.
Or more? Well, we're concerned about money. $40,000 is a heck of a lot of money to be just setting aside and saying, no, we don't need to do it now.
So even if you guys were to approve the budget tonight, Brian still has to go through our purchasing resolution and bring back the final to city council for approval. So even though you were to approve the budget tonight, if you were to do that, he still has to adhere to our purchasing ordinance, and come back to city council for final approval because the overall cost of the truck.
So we're gonna be in the 40,000 anyway, Cause it won't be till the end of June.
So I guess I'm not sure where, I'm not sure how quick of a turnaround, I guess it would depend.
In my opinion, if you approve the budget tonight as we've written with that in there, I could commit to the truck and she'll hold it for me. And then when I present the final numbers on it, then that would finalize it and we can complete the purchase.
Madam Mayor, may I ask Brian a question? The emissions that you're talking about, you're talking about the EGR death system? Is that
I'm sorry?
The EGR system the emission system they're putting on, is that the EGR death system? Because if it is, President Trump's moving forward to abolish those systems on diesels. For both off-road applications and commercial, which would fall under.
In my emails from the manufacturers, it just states that the 2027 emissions chassis will come with our standard 3-year warranty, but it's about $40,000 upcharge from the current trucks that we have now.
Because if they're trying to.
If I order it now.
Yeah, if they're saying that, they're pushing to abolish the death system for off-road and commercial units.
That's an assumption, yes. So,
if
again,
that's
it's
what they're
another
talking
$40,000
about,
assumption.
Yeah, we need to know what their emissions are putting on, because that may be a sales technique too.
No, it's not, because I got it from 3 different manufacturers.
So, what is the council's pleasure?
Madam Mayor, since the budget is 5 different levels, if we approve the budget dollar amount, all of it has to come back to us for, any kind of purchase needs to come back to us for approval anyway. If we're hanging up on, we have questions on salaries, we wanna talk those over, no, we behind closed doors in a closed session, and that would probably be appropriate at salary negotiation, I don't know.
It is if you are actually tying your discussion of that to the performance of your employees, if you're looking at just as a.
Right, so I mean.
With that, they have the right to make a closed session.
And if that's the main hang up, we can approve everything else and leave that out of the package right now. Now, the money would be in the budget for it, but it's not approved to be spent.
That's why the wage resolution is separate from the budget. The wage resolution is separate and it doesn't get set until that's approved by city council. The wages remain the same unless the wage resolution is outside of our collective bargaining agreement that was already voted on. So we have a collective bargaining agreement for the police. And that's already been voted on, that's 4-year contracts. So this would be for any of those employees that do not fall under that.
Yeah, because they have their own union, right?
The police.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, the city manager, I believe MML has a wage study for everybody in the state. We could easily sit down and compare it to get that information. So maybe, if that's something you guys wanna wait on, does that would make you feel better? Approve everything else and hold that one? Is that a sticking point?
Real quick, because I don't normally do this, but I will let you ask your question.
Can you stand up, please, for your hearing?
My question is, you just let us do stuff behind closed doors, we're the taxpayers. I don't think you should talk about wages behind closed doors. I don't think you should talk about fire trucks behind closed doors. I think that should be an open meeting to the public.
The city can only go into closed session for very specific things, and as Pat said, that is related to employee performance and things of that nature. And obviously, the fire truck would not be in closed session. And any vote or decision is still made in open session.
Right. And not only can you go into closed session to discuss those personal matters, you have to go into closed session unless it's waived by the specific employee.
So again, I ask, what is the council's pleasure?
Do you wanna make a motion, Bert?
So I would make a motion to approve resolution A, B, leave out wage resolution C and D and E, but, they gotta be made separately, obviously. So, I'd make a move to approve resolution 5-26 adoption of fiscal year budget, 26-27 budget.
I support that.
Is discussion?
No, wait a minute.
Is discussion closed?
No, the motion's made and it was
Okay,
seconded.
very well.
Huh?
Yeah, it just, she had already started.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess, you know, on the fire truck option, is Tom said it's a potential, right? It's a maybe, whether or not that is the EPA that Trump's looking at it postponing or eliminating. I would also, from the sounds of it, as far as them guaranteeing that we're not, you go into them and say, hey, I'm gonna commit to this now, that they'll lock in that pricing. Is that a guarantee, that they'll do that? Or is it gonna be, hey, I'm gonna do it and then in a month? You know, that's beyond, so I don't know what
Jerry, I
that.
apologize, I was reading the fire call we got here. Can you say that again?
So, because it's a potential, right, what Tom was saying, that Trump will be canceling those EPA regulations. Is it also potential, you said you may be able to go to them and say, hey, look, I'll commit to this now, and they'll tell you that, hey, okay, even though you can't, because we gotta go through the budgetary process, we won't vote on this till the end of June. That is also maybe whether or not they'll give us that also, or have you talked to them specifically and said, hey, will you give us till the end of June if we go through this?
What I'm being told is that they order stock trucks, in other words, in advance. That's why we're able to get it in a 2 to 6 week period. They have 2 more available that are coming in. After those 2 are spoken for and gone, then all the other stock trucks in the future will be under the 27 new emissions standard.
Okay, so
So
that
if I
is,
wait till July 1, or say even
then
middle
it's
of June,
guaranteed, yeah.
those 2 trucks might be gone, and then we'll into the 27 new emissions. The one vendor said he's already out of the stock version, so if I order one from him tomorrow, that's already into the 27
Still the
cycle.
27 cycle.
So will he hold the truck for you?
That guy don't have anymore, but the other person in front line who we used for our other rescue truck 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Right.
They will hold that truck if I can give them kind of a verbal commitment. They will hold that stock truck for us until we can finalize what we're doing on the interior shelving and different things like that, and actually come up with a firm number to bring back to you to vote on.
Well, I guess I'm gonna ask for some guidance here, because when we're going through each step, I wanna know exactly what we're voting on, what step it is. Call me silly, but you know what? Teach me, because right now I'm looking at this, and I wanna talk about wages. I think everybody should be getting them, but I have to look out for the residents too, so.
That would be what would be approved, that's not what the resolution approved.
Well, I guess that's the reason why I want you to speak from English to me, because I
No,
don't
the
understand
the resolution is just it adopts the budget. The money's in there for wage increases, but it doesn't guarantee it. We have to adopt the wage,
and everything else, so we.
everything else, so, right, this is,
They're all
this,
treated individually,
Okay.
each business.
this
is
allocates the money for it, it doesn't spend it.
Okay,
Is that A, B, and C?
We have to do them one at a time, so it's just A.
Okay.
Right. Are we at the place that we're ready to vote now? Anyway. Are we
Would
good?
you like to restate your,
Right, motion to approve resolution 526.
There's already a motion, yep, motion on the floor in a second.
Right, your motion was
Yep.
to approve the.
To approve the budget as presented, resolution 5-26.
and support?
Armstrong,
No.
Lee,
No.
Simons,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Miller,
no,
Hicks.
No.
For clarification for staff, that, because it's been, in the past, so, the city has to have an adopted budget by July 1. And understand there's been question of how we bring back items that have been denied or typos. So we have the right to bring this back to the council for another vote, obviously, because we have to have an approved budget.
I believe that's.
Okay, I just wanna say that
Yeah.
because there's obviously been an issue in the past, and I want clarification before we leave here to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I would also like clarification too, on any points that you guys wanna see. I've been able to sit down with a couple of you guys in questions, but it's really important for my staff and I to understand really what are the specific items. So, that way we can bring back the information or provide information or additional, anything that you guys might need. So, it's really hard if we get those questions directly at the meeting, we don't know what to prepare for or what the questions will be. You know, Jerry and Denise came in last week, we were able to sit down and go through things, and stuff, so happy to do that.
Do we need to go through B, C, D as well? If we just, or do we
You
just
need to,
move right now to
you need
E?
to do each one individually because
You
they're
do?
different line items. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Each one of them is a resolution that is up for approval tonight, so I would ask at this point that you, I guess that they're all tied to our budget at this point, they deny, or they, you know, the budget didn't pass.
Since the budget hasn't passed, I'm not sure you need to do a resolution on each one of the individual.
Right, so at this point, just vote.
Madam Mayor, next question. Is this something that we could go in closed session to
No,
work on?
that's something that we're supposed to be, in open session, so on. It's not one of the exceptions.
Oh, that's fine.
All right,
I believe the wage portion
Wage portion is.
could be,
Yes,
Right.
yes. But the other items.
all right, so we're going to move then to E, 2026-2027 road overband / crack fill program.
Really quick, Brooke had, she was trying to.
Sorry, just going back to the budget. I've been working on it for probably 6 months now. I provided a draft on, I believe it was April 13th, so that was the first time you guys got to see it. We went line by line last meeting. I didn't receive any feedback as to what you wanted to take out or put in, or we tried to encompass everything that you guys talked about in January at the meeting, so like Ellen said, I would just like further direction on what needs to go into the budget. If you guys want to have it at this meeting in front of the public, or if what's your direction for us next?
Madam Mayor?
Just to follow up with Ellen's question.
Well, for me, I've been asking for comparables to job positions. I've been asking, increases for wages. I think Jerry asked for different types of, what their duties are. I want to know what the difference is from last year to this year and how much they've taken on to make that increase. It's not personal, it's not against any of the
So it's
workers.
wage specific.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely,
so-
and that's when I think I
So
came into
nothing-
you, that's what I said, I got a question about the percentage of these raises.
And that's what we're just trying to get clarification.
That's
It's
just so I can go forward.
Right.
Make the notes, try to get you guys in front of you again, the next budget that you guys are wanting, so. 'cause
And that, I think I said that at the meeting.
Any direction.
On mine, it's what Denise said, when we had a meeting with Ellen, because we have a small staff, it was mentioned, Lou Bender mentioned we had a small staff, which means you all have to wear, and you all do wear different hats. Ellen had suggested giving us a list, because as far as raises go, I have no problem giving any raises, if it's justified, and that was the discussion that we had with Ellen. And Ellen suggested I could get you a list of all the hats that each one of you wears, right? You're not just a treasurer, you're also the finance. Kristen, you do more than the city clerk. Tessa, you do more than just, you've got several jobs already that are in your title. So Ellen was gonna get me a list of what each one of you guys do, or not me, but council, a list of what each one of you all do beyond what's on your name, or what's on your name tag or your tag in front of you, so that we can evaluate for example, just an easy number, finance person makes 100,000, a treasurer makes 100,000. I'm sure you would love to make that, but, you know, if one person does both, you don't pay that one individual 200,000. But you also don't leave them at 100,000 either, saying, well, this is what the treasurer makes and that's what her title is. So I would like to see that breakdown, the wage study that I think you would ask for, Denise, so that we could kind of discuss it and say, okay, here's what's right, you know, here's the duties they do, and here's what they deserve to be paid and what's justified. To give the raises without the justification, I think is not fiscally responsible to the residents.
So going forward,
Ellen's already working on it. She did not have, this was a discussion we had Friday.
It was Friday afternoon.
So she did not have a lot of time to get this information back to me, so it was not that I expected this information today, because I did not. But, she is working on that, because that would assist us or help us for justification of wages.
I just have a quick question. Is that really the only issue, is that we want to discuss wages? Is that
Not for me.
not for you?
I don't wanna bring it up here. Normally I wouldn't have a problem, but it is a sensitive topic, and so I'll put it in an email and then it can get FOIA'd.
And Madam Mayor, the only reason I moved to adopt the budget tonight is because the charter does say we adopt the budget tonight. So we're in violation of the charter by not adopting the budget.
Madam Mayor, may I speak? Brad, you say that, but how can we pass a budget when we haven't even spoke about it? Because, yes, we got it in April, but we haven't, I mean, is this normal? We just go, okay? Or, I've asked since April 24th for some things, and I've gotten some, but I think that there's residents. I mean,
I
the
agree.
residents should see it, but to come in at 6:30 and work an hour and say, okay, we're gonna pass a budget with increases like we see,
I didn't approve it,
So-
I didn't say that. Nothing that I proposed by adopting the budget gave anybody a raise. It didn't approve their salaries, it didn't do any of that. It just set the budget dollars. It approved the levy of the 9 mills. That's all.
Madam Mayor, yeah, clearly what Brad had brought up, was just approving the budget. What you're concerned about, Denise, is resolution 07-26, authorizing compensation for all city officers, employees, and volunteer fire department, which is a separate resolution from the budget.
and that's what I'm asking for.
Thank you.
And that is a separate.
All right. But, I mean, the vote has happened, so thank you.
We can make a motion to overturn that, too.
Good, thank you.
So it's just, I didn't understand this in the beginning when I first started in council either. It took me a while to understand exactly how this worked. But by approving the budget, we didn't approve wages. We said, all right, we might have a line item in the budget that says 100,000, but it comes back to us when we look at this resolution, say, nope, it's gonna be 40, right? So approving A, just because the money's there on your Excel spreadsheet, doesn't mean you're going to spend that.
Okay,
We
Brenda,
still
so let
have
me
to
ask you
approve
this.
it.
Let me ask you this. If we approve this, when do we talk about wages?
Yeah.
Well, we talk
Okay,
about,
hey.
that's a different line
Okay.
item.
Okay, but the vote has happened.
Yeah.
So thank you, we're good. We're gonna move now to the 2026-2027 road overband crack fill program. Who would like to speak on that? Thank you so
Go
much.
ahead,
So, Mayor and Council, this is something you guys typically see as a annual project that we bring forward to council. This is again just a continuation of our road overbanding and crack sealing program. As is mentioned in the memo here, we were part of a consortium again in order to receive the best price possible. I included in the body of the memo the results of that bid, and we're just recommending approval of the 2026-27 overband project.
I make the motion to approve the 26-27 road overband crack and fill program.
Support. Do any residents have any questions about this program? If you go and you look out on the roads, you'll see like the squiggly black lines, that's what this is. It helps protect the road. Just kind of wanting to make sure everybody gets a little information with that. It's supposed to help maintain and make them last a little longer. Okay. And let's start with Tom. Any questions, Tom, on this?
No, I have no questions.
Brenda?
No, no questions, thank you.
Denise?
I think it's a good program, I see it works.
Brad?
No, thanks for doing that again, partnering with some in the other communities.
No, it just works well with, preventing groundwater and rain event infiltration to the pavement and causing more cracks, so it's a great thing.
Jerry?
I'm assuming since you're bringing it up, that it was successful last year, you felt that it was successful, I mean, and it, definitely the worst thing for a road is water.
It's absolutely worth doing, yes.
And the only question I have, there's a few municipalities, when they saw this on our, they want to figure out how to get in touch. So there might be a larger consortium, but that's really all. I can give you the names of the ones, if you wanna reach out, if that'll help lower the price.
It may, yep, we'll, put them in touch with Wixom, as long as they continue to champion it for us.
Okay, very good. All right. So is there a motion?
I already made the motion.
Oh, that's correct. All right. We're ready to vote.
Howard,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
Okay, moving right on along to the manager's update.
Mayor, one question. Resolution -06-26, the fiscal year fee schedule isn't involved with the budget. Shouldn't we be voting on that now?
We voted on it.
Oh, fee schedule?
Oh, the fee schedule,
didn't vote on the fee
I was
schedule.
told to let everything ride until the next meeting, so.
It's all tied to the budget.
Okay.
The fee schedule is set to support any of the revenue that's generated for those
Okay.
specific.
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right, manager's update.
I don't have a ton, other than obviously we've got the ongoing road projects, things like that. The Safe Routes to School project is wrapping up restoration, more things like that. Obviously, final walk through and things will happen. Memorial Day, we're gonna need as many hands on deck as possible. We have, several staff members that won't be able to be there in attendance, and so we'll need council to hopefully, step in and champion that, for us. So, I will be reaching out for volunteers for that day. We've got upcoming parks events, I think the kite event coming up this Thursday? This Thursday. So, that's really all I have. Please touch base with me on the budget so we can understand and Brooke and I can get to work and, go from there.
May I ask a question? Are we doing hot dogs and stuff again at the parade?
Yep, same as every year, yep.
All right. Thank all the departments for your reports, they're appreciated. And now we'll move into council comments. We'll start with.
Oh, a couple things. Chief, I know Fenton is, looking at a scooter ordinance tonight also.
Saw that.
And now South Lyon just did one, and so I think we might need to do something to give us some teeth that, or at least, I don't know, we can get some signs up downtown or wherever we need to keep them away from something there. And then down for mail delivery, I noticed, there's boxes on both sides of the street. What if we did temporaries? There's only about 15 of them or so, there's not that many, that we have to do. We should put them on one side and then same box goes over to the other side and they switch sides. Then everybody'd have a box.
I'm going to let the post office and the
Right.
contractor work that out. Like I said, we'll help with whatever we can.
Good luck getting through
But
the post office.
the other thing we have to, understand is when we shift traffic, once they pave the north side, then they still will not be able to deliver mail over there because it's outside the opposite window, so it's good.
Well, they've got boxes on the north and south side of that street.
Correct, correct.
So I'm saying if we move the north side over to the south side right now, then when they do we switch traffic, move these temporary boxes over to the other side.
Right, but they can't, yeah, I'll let them work it out. I'm trying to help with what we can, but it's a couple things beyond our control.
I had the pleasure of working at the election, this past week, and it was enheartening in that families were coming with their children to learn the election process, and it was also heartening to talk to many of the seniors that thought it was valuable that they could park next to the building as opposed to using Faith Baptist Church where you have to park away from the building, cross a busy lane, and then enter the building. They really loved the fact that there was safety first, and they could step right out of their car and head towards and park in a handy-capable parking space, and that there's many more disabled parking spaces here than there were over at Faith. So, and I know that it seemed like they were full at one time, so. And also, I talked to some seniors too. There was a lot of seniors there, and they really appreciated being able to come to LoC to do that, and then they could go on and do some other activities. So that was the heartening thing. The other thing is that I have to, and Scott knows that my son and I almost got run into head-on last Friday driving home up Broad Street. So as we came around the cemetery, there's a guy coming this way, didn't even look. So anyway, we feel lucky in that, and I know you're doing the best you can, Scott, and people will be people. The other thing is, I wouldn't have a problem with striping Tickner, because that is now our main street while Broad is being fixed.
Tom?
Just a quick one, Don. I still get grumbles every once in a while when I talk to people. Broad Street, over a year ago, that contractor tore up the road and relayed asphalt, and it's rough.
Yeah, that's,
And I remember we had held back funds from it to repair it. Does he still have to repair it, or is it something we're gonna repair?
no, I kept the money, and the project that you guys approved the last meeting, we're gonna take care of that.
I wasn't here last month, so I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for answering that for me.
Yep.
Brenda?
Thanks for everything. You're doing a great job on Tickner. I've used that as my route to come into town. And I've noticed the officer sitting out there and the sign telling everyone, reminding everyone of the speed limit. So thanks for doing a good job out there.
Mhm.
You know, someone said people are gonna be people, so we can only do the best we can. Thank you.
Denise?
I got a couple things considering I live on Tickner Street. First of all, police, thank you very much. You guys are doing a good job. I do see you out there. I do see people go past that sign and speed up. I mean, it's unbelievable. The black cars going and the black trucks and the white, and then we got the kids with the scooters all over the place. I know your job is hard, and we're trying to be really patient. But some of them, it's gonna be an accident, especially on the curb. I mean, it's a blind spot. And then it's coming spring, and now we're gonna have the kayakers gonna want to launch. So I'm wondering how we're gonna stop cars there to take their kayaks off, put them in the launch, and their car's sitting there. We usually have 3 or 4 deep. So if they do that on this side of the road, then you have somebody coming past them on that curb. So that's just maybe something you can look at. As far as striping the street, you can't put really a stripe on there because of the fact you can't get 2 cars, I don't think, side by side. They narrowed that road in 2002 to slow down the traffic.
You can get them side by side if they stay on their own side of the road.
Well,
They
I'd
made
be
the
all
road
for it. I'd be
narrow,
all
and
for
they
it.
said it would slow traffic.
Right.
It has never done.
Yep. And I agree with you. It took 2 or 3 cars for me to get my mail. Let's see. I believe we should put something in the ordinance about scooters. They have more rights than the side-by-sides, apparently. And I was a little with Ramona saying something about the lunch. I wish that we could have had lunch, in here for the seniors. I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, on the scooter thing, I don't know, you know, if we can, if you, chief, if you're the expert, if you feel we need to address it somehow, maybe come up with options that we can discuss at the next work session, if that would be possible, Ellen.
After the last meeting, we did talk about it actually in our department
Okay.
head meeting, kind of put it on our radar, and if it's something that we would want to do, and we've got some examples and some
Yeah.
potential, like,
Yeah.
so we can discuss it at our next department head meeting and see how we want to best approach it, I
And
guess.
I understand, but there are scooters out there, but we've never, and I know, if people say somebody's gonna die, nobody's died, we haven't had one accident. So, I mean, we're keeping an eye on them, they're kids, I get it, and they're trying to be kids, I see kids on with their fishing poles, on scooters, going to the mill pond, it's kinda cool, that's what we're supposed to be, we're a small, beautiful town. But there's a way to regulate it, and I think we need to do it right, and not panic.
Well, I think we get a snapshot when the kid's in front of us.
Yeah.
Right? You get the bigger picture because you're dealing with every time somebody happens, or you and your force are out there all the time.
Right.
So, you're the experts.
Right. Well, and something I've always learned in my career is facts before acts, and we gather the facts to see if there's a problem, and that's what we do. But again, if that's something the council wants to do, we can look into it. I mean, there's a bunch of examples out there right
Yeah,
now. You know.
Okay. And then the kayak, you know, in June, I don't know if there's some way to make it easier to transport it from the other side where they, you know, have the parking there. I know there's, but, you know, if there's some other way, because obviously Tickner's pretty crowded, and with the kayaks, and I don't know what that option is. I don't know if it's, we discussed it in June 8th, it's too late, but.
Last year, our DPW went in and cleared out some brush on that side over by the Evans building area and stuff, so people are able to get, and we have had people put in and take out over on that side. So, yeah, it's something that we
I
can.
don't, I don't know what that solution might
It's-
be, but.
It's a temporary
it's yes.
interruption, we're gonna
Right.
be through the project and hopefully sooner than later and stuff, but we will discuss as a staff and see if there's some ways that we can help alleviate that, or if there's something we could recommend.
August is what we're thinking? Right,
Yeah.
okay. All right, and that's coming quick, so, kind of. And that's all I have, thank you.
I just wanna ask Don if it's possible, when you hear about the mailboxes, if you can please let me know, because like we had talked, if I need to take it to the next level,
Yep.
to make sure that they can get their mail, then that's what I will do. But I'm just waiting and giving grace right now, so.
So am I,
Yeah.
like I said, I've told both parties, if there's anything you need from us, let us know and we'll do what we can. So hopefully it happens tomorrow and we'll find a resolution.
I appreciate it. And then also want to remind everyone about the kite event on Thursday. It's the first Miracle 250 event of the city of Linden. And so it will be focused on Benjamin Franklin. Kids will be able to learn about Benjamin Franklin and his love of kites. And I want to thank Heidi, she's here tonight. She's on our Parks and Rec. She has put in a lot of time on this event. So I personally want to thank Heidi for all of her hard work on that. And that's all I have tonight. So.
Mayor, may I ask, address one thing? Just real quick on the kayak thing. If I remember right, a couple meetings back, they're gonna redo the kayak ramp behind Hatch in the parking lot there. Could we get a sign up on Broad Street saying kayak launch with an arrow? And may help divert some of the people. I don't know if that's an option or not.
It's an option, it depends on what the user wants to
Yeah.
do. If they're wanting the river, obviously, they'll go downstream, but
But I mean,
some of
that
them are.
would maybe make it aware that it's there.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
Just a thought.
Yep.
And, is it possible also, sorry, cause is it possible to find out how much the striping would be, and do we need a vote, just even get a price estimate?
I think you'll have that at June meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so with that, I wanna thank everyone for coming tonight. Students, once I adjourn, y'all can feel free to come on up and we'll sign your form. And it is 7:47 and I call this meeting adjourned. I made a motion to adjourn.
Support.
That's the one, I was getting excited. All right, come on up.